Looking ahead to the weekend's preseason action right now on Fantasy Football Today Express. It's Adam and Jamie here, and we've got a lot of preseason football to talk about, Jamie. We're hoping to see some starters. We'll start with the teams that we know or we expect that they're going to play their starters. Bears-Bengals is the game to watch Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern. I'd love to see. Actually, I don't really want Caleb Williams to do that well because I want to be able to draft him late. But I guess I want.
Where do you think he's going to end up going? Let's say he goes out and he throws for 202 in the first half.
I think he can move up to QB 12 or something.
He's already QB 12.
I think he's QB 15 in ADP.
Forget about ADP.
I don't see him moving much higher than that.
Maybe 11th. If people have Daniels at 11.
Right. I could definitely see him. And I do take him ahead of Jaden Daniels in 6 point, not in 4 point. But I could see him going ahead of Daniels consistently.
Okay.
I do want to see what happens with Rome Odunze because he didn't play as much as the other guys. He didn't play in their 2 receiver sets. Just had a quiet debut and see how those receivers look. And also, we kind of dismissed it as like, oh, DeAndre Swift, he played his 2 or 3 snaps, and then they just let Khalil Herbert go. What happens there? So what are you looking forward to looking at the Bears-Bengals game? And start with the Bears.
I mean, everything you just said, how they use the receivers in 2 receiver sets. We got the story about, the snap count about the tight ends, so people that are interested in Cole Kmet, watched him play, less than Gerald Everett. And then you said it with the running backs. I didn't really worry about the DeAndre Swift thing. Like, he did his job, get off the field, you're done. You're the guy, and Herbert and Roshan are fighting for the number 2 spot. So I was actually pretty encouraged by DeAndre Swift, to be honest with you. But for the Bengals, it's really the backfield. We're not going to get Jamar Chase. And so do you want to see something from Jermaine Burton or Yoshi? To see who could be the 3 there. I would prefer, to be honest with you, that Burton does something so that we could see more Jamar Chase in the slot. But look, if Higgins goes out and have another dominant performance, does that move his value up even more? So yeah, that's a very intriguing game, and certainly on both sides of the ball. But really, the backfield for the Bengals is the one I would say from overall both these teams. Zack Moss play and how they use both those guys.
Oh man, I'm dying to see how this plays out. So yeah, we were talked about this a week ago. This is what we were looking forward to. Moss was scratched with an illness. We're expecting to see them both on the field against the Bears. Another game that's going to have a lot of starters, Bills and Steelers. The Bills are going to be playing their starters. The Steelers are going to be playing their starters, and both quarterbacks are going to get in there. What are you looking at in Bills Steelers Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern?
A lot for Buffalo, looking at how they use James Cook, especially if they get near the goal line. Will they get Dalton Kincaid involved with Josh Allen? We didn't see that last week. How will they use the 3 receivers of Shakir, Coleman, and Curtis Samuel? And then for the other side of the ball, clearly the quarterbacks for Pittsburgh. I don't think the running back's going to tell us anything unless it's just a complete one drive dominant situation with one quarterback, and then that guy comes off the field. I expect them to mix and match. And look, we're still in the holding pattern for the receiving core there for Pittsburgh. So it's funny. Like, I did probably we didn't have a podcast yesterday. So since Wednesday, I think I've done maybe like 4 best ball drafts, and it's wild to see where George Pickens goes. He either goes early because people trying to get the jump on, he doesn't get, company, or he just falls, and it's fascinating to me, the holding pattern that we're in.
Yeah, I took him in a best ball draft, 66th overall.
It's good value. Very good value.
When do we ever see him make it? That technically was the 5th round because it's a 14-team league. But when do we ever see him make it into the 6th round? 66th overall. He went after Terry McLaurin, right in between McLaurin and Godwin. All right, we're going to take a break. A few other things to keep an eye on this week in the preseason when we come back on Fantasy Football Today Express. So the Giants will be at the Texans. I would love to see Malik Nabers out there. I'm sure we all would. But Daniel Jones will be out there. And man, if he stinks, I haven't read a lot of good stuff about him this camp. If he goes out there and is horrible, then yeah, what do you think that would do for Nabers' draft value?
If he's horrible,
yeah,
probably drop him around. It's different than the Jefferson situation because what Jefferson could do, right? And we saw 4 games last year with horrible quarterback play. Mm-hmm. Again, I think, though, the one thing that you hang your hat on is if it's Daniel Jones, if it's Tommy DeVito, if it's Drew Lock, If it's Adam Azer, Brian Dable is calling 130 plus targets to Malik Nabers. Like, that's their only chance to compete.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you just get the discount, which would be fantastic.
It would be good, I guess. Where are you comfortable drafting Malik Nabers right now?
End of round 3, beginning round 4.
And okay. Hasn't really been lasting there in most of the drafts I've been doing lately. And I think I have to exercise a little bit of discipline. People act like I love Nabers. I haven't drafted him. He's going too early in a lot of these drafts.
You were drafting him in round 5 when he was going in round 6 or 7. Yeah.
Right. You know where I did draft him today, actually, in a draft? 36th. End of round 3, beginning of round 4. I think I took him 37.
Thomas pissed me off in the draft we did yesterday because I had it all set to go, and he took him like 26th.
26th. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's tough. So, I don't know all of the teams, what their plans are, but the Chiefs will be playing their starters a lot. Maybe, what are they doing? It's not a lot of success there. They probably have to just, iron out the kinks. But anyway, the Chiefs, what are you looking forward to seeing from the Chiefs?
How they replace Marquise Brown, and will Xavier Worthy do something that just makes his ADP astronomically skyrocket?
And I am looking forward to Pacheco's usage, and what they do on third down. I believe he was in on 1 third down last week, but I think it was 3rd and 2. But who is their passing downs guy? Last year, when McKinnon was hurt, it was a split between Clyde and Pacheco, with Clyde getting more work than Pacheco. And that was still enough for Pacheco to be pretty close to elite. So that's someone that I started out like, I don't really want to take him in the second round too. I am definitely taking Pacheco in the second round. He's RB9 for you?
Pacheco?
Yeah.
Is RB8.
RB8. You like him better than Derrick Henry?
And Etienne.
Ooh. Why? Why Etienne?
Because I think if he has the 3-down role for the Chiefs, I prefer that to the 3-down role for the Jaguars. And I think Tank Bigsby is actually looking decent.
Yeah, that's a pretty good point, Jamie Eisenberg. All right. Thanks for watching Fantasy Football Today Express, everybody. We, of course, have a lot more for you after these games. We'll be reviewing all of them on our Monday episode of both this and Fantasy Football Today, the main show. So please subscribe to that wherever you listen to podcasts. Please give us a like on our YouTube channel and a subscription, youtube.com/fantasyfootballtoday. I'd like to get to 100,000 subscribers. So if you wouldn't mind helping us in that effort, subscribe to youtube.com/fantasyfootballtoday. Hope you all enjoy your weekend. We'll talk to you Monday on FFT Express.